Hello and welcome to another model building workshop, and today we're going to be looking at this, the Airfix 1/72nd scale D-Day Sea Assault set. This has got a lot of stuff packed into this box. It's got the paints, it's got the paint brushes, it's got all of this you see here. It's got two landing craft, a Jeep, cannon, a trailer, soldiers. Granted, they're all on 1/72nd scale, so they are a bit small. All of that comes in this box. So let's have a look at it. So I'm Mr. Allen, and I'm coming to you from the Providence Community Library. I'm coming to you from the Smith Hill Library. This is our basement community activity room, and we have a lot of fun down in this room. So here's the instruction booklet here. So it gives you two Higgins LCVP, the boats. Gives you a Willys Jeep, a trailer, a howitzer, U.S. infantry, and the diorama base. So instructions begin right there with the Higgins boat. I think the instructions are pretty nice, clearly illustrated. And it tells you how you're going to have to cut get the boat onto the base. Here's the decal set. That's for the boat and the Jeep. Also has, if you want to do the landing craft without putting it on the base, it gives you a stand you can put them on if you want to display them that way. And here's your painting and decaling options for these landing craft. And then we're going to get into the Jeep. And this starts to get a little more complicated, especially when you consider the size of this Jeep is 1/72nd scale. So this is a small vehicle. Just a heads up on that. And there's quite a bit to that, depending on how you want to do it. You can do top up or top down. So that's an option. You have an option of machine guns you can put on it if you want to. I think it's got the 30 and the 50 caliber. Tells you how you can change the directions of the tires if you want to have it turning. And then you have the trailer, if you want it carrying a trailer. And again, the trailer has a cover, or it can be opened with some gear on the back. And then we have the howitzer, which there's not a whole lot to the howitzer, to be fair. That's not too complicated by comparison to the Jeep. And there's your olive drab basic painting guide. It shows you either the 50 cal or the 30 cal machine gun and your markings there. And then the infantry are, well, they're the soft plastic 1/72nd scale. They give you a painting options here. For the United States on D-Day. Generally going with an overall olive drab, which is essentially true, but if you look at some uniform photographs of the United States Army uniforms for World War II, you may see there's some slight different color variations you could use with them that should be perfectly fine. And then they give you a basic idea of how to paint your sea and sand for the beach with the painting options there. Granted, the painting is going to go with the paints that come in the set, so, which makes sense, that they're not going to get overly complicated, though there's a lot of paint that comes in that bag, in these little pots. You get a couple of brushes and you get your cement, plastic cement there too. So there is some variety here you can work with. Some of these sets don't give you as much paint as that, but that's a generous supply of paint. Granted, I haven't had much use of these pots of paint, so I don't know how well they keep and how well they work in here. I've heard mixed things about their paint, and I have a tendency to use my own paints anyway. So anyway, just saying that comes with the paint. And here is your, I'm not going to take these out just because of the, get too carried away with all of that, but that's the parts for the landing craft. You can see that there's the, you can see light preservers there, steering wheels, the guns. Yeah, so it's a fairly, it's small. It's not too bad for size. This one gets a little daunting to look at, but you know, with the challenge, it could be fun. Look at all of that for the Jeep and the cannon there. I think it's Jeep and trailer, right? Jeep and trailer, yeah. It's all in there. All the pieces there. Infantry and a little boat, little raft. Is your infantry, like I said, typical, you know, your soft plastic. And there's different ways to go about doing these. What I used to do when I did these, it's kind of tough on my eyesight now, but I used to water down some like PVC glue, I think is what they call it, or Elmer's glue, as we're used to here in the United States, and kind of water that down and kind of paint them with that, and gives you something a little, something that you can then apply the paint to, because the soft plastic tends to shed paint. If it bends, the paint just goes, just shatters right off of it. So there's different ways of doing that. I'm sure you can go online and look up some of the different tricks for that. Or if you don't move them much, you might be fine. And here's your other Higgins boat here. So you, like I said, you have two. Yeah, it's a generous amount of supplies here. And then you have this vacuum formed base, which is here. So you got the indentations of where you put the boats. There's your sea, the texture of the sea there, and the surf, and then you've got your beach, and you have the tracks for where the Jeep can go. Doesn't really give you tracks for where the cannon would go, the howitzer, but unless you know, who knows? But it's up to your imagination as to what you would do next with it. This is a very, you know, kind of a, yeah, vacuum formed piece here. So that is the D-Day kit, the Sea Assault, all in one box. I would say it would be fun for kids. I know I used to build stuff like this when I was a kid, maybe middle school aged. The only thing I'm concerned about, I don't know how complicated that Jeep is. It looks like it could be a bit of a challenge, but for perhaps to someone who's built a lot of models, it may not be too difficult. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot there, a lot you can work with one way or another. All right, that's today's episode, and we'll see you soon in the Model Building Workshop. Bye now.